Hello guys, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Today we're taking a look at some different brands. Yesterday we looked at Rolex and Tudor. Today we're taking a look at Breitling, Tag Heuer, Patek Philippe, and Seiko. Now on my wrist today is the OCEANICA OP1 Flieger. It's a very affordable micro brand watch. I think it looks really nice with its sunburst blue dial, as you can see on my wrist here, and that is the black dial variant. They're only $250. They come with a 9015 Miyota and sapphire on both sides, and I think it's a great deal. I will leave a link to them down in the description below. Definitely check them out. Limited edition of 100 pieces. Now, probably the most notable release from Breitling is the Cosmonaut re-edition. Now, the original Navitimer was introduced in 1952, and this is dubbed the 806 1959 re-edition. As you can see, it's a pretty stunning watch, and I think they did a good job on this model. It also has a new in-house manual wound caliber and acrylic crystal, so no sapphire. We're keeping with that vintage theme here. And in terms of size, it's a relatively decent size at 40.9 millimeters, which is a good size. You know, none of those huge Navitimers. I think 40.9 for a vintage themed piece is very good. Comes on a nice leather strap, and I think they did a pretty good job on this. I think this one will do very good. And I believe the price is under 9,000 US dollars. And it also is only water resistant to 30 meters, of course. This is not something to take in the water. It's using the caliber B09, which is a COSC certified chronometer movement. It's a chronograph with a power reserve of 70 hours. It's basically an iteration of the B09 in-house Breitling movement. Now, Breitling released a lot of new Super Ocean models, and they released 5 different sizes. Now, the first you're seeing is the Super Ocean 48, which is actually in a 48 millimeter DLC-coated titanium case with a blue ceramic bezel, and rated to 300 meters, of course, using the caliber 17, I believe, which is COSC and chronometer certified. I think this is just a really cool looking watch, and as you can see, obviously it has a lot of lume applied there. It's your standard Super Ocean diving watch with a new twist. They also did release a Super Ocean 46. As you can see, it is in a DLC-coated stainless steel case, 46 millimeters, a big diver. It's actually water resistant to 2,000 meters, so it's a true diving watch. Not that anybody goes diving with their watches, but just in case you need it. Now, the next size is the Breitling Super Ocean 44. This is only water resistant to 1,000 meters, and you get a choice of black or blue, stainless steel cases or bracelets, also with their rubber straps, which is caoutchouc, which is really nice. Now, perhaps my favorite line is the 42 Super Ocean. This is only 500 meters water resistant, so still a true diving watch, just a little more, modern in size. I think 42 is a good size for a deep diver. I really like that black one with those 12, 6, and 9, and all the applied markers, which are loomed as well, of course. Now, the new Breitling CEO, Georges Kern, did not forget the ladies. He did release a Breitling Super Ocean 36 line for the ladies, which is 200 meters water resistance. As you can see, the water resistance goes down as the size goes down, and I think for the ladies, the Super Ocean is always a nice watch. I think they look good on girls, and hey, can't go wrong. Now, Patek Philippe released a lot of new watches, I believe 20 or so, but this is their 5235-50R. It's an annual calendar in a regulator style, and if you flip over to the case back, it has a nice micro rotor as well, and the finishing is really on point on this model. And that nice kind of, slate grayish dial, I think it looks really nice. Just a nice addition to the collection. Now, next up is a new addition to the Calatrava line, which is kind of weird because it's actually in steel. Now, this watch is actually a weekly calendar, and it does house a brand new in-house self-winding automatic movement. It is dubbed the 26 caliber 330 SCJ SE, and it does display day and week number by hands and date and an aperture, and then we have a seconds hand, of course. I think it's a really cool watch, and the writing actually on the dial is supposed to look like it was written like notes, like someone was taking notes. So I think that's kind of cool. Obviously, this watch is not going to be cheap. It is 40 millimeters. It is 10.79 thick, and it is in stainless steel, so it might be a little cheaper than if it was in a precious metal. Now, a pretty popular line, the Patek Philippe Aquanaut, they actually released a jumbo in white gold, which is actually in a khaki green, and it's 42.2 millimeters. And it's powered by the caliber 324 self-winding automatic movement. Of course, it has the exhibition case back. and that clean, simple dial, which a lot of people really like. I would dub this kind of the rich man's Submariner, if you want to call it that. I think they're okay. I'm not really, shocked by them. I'd rather much wear a Submariner, but I'm a younger person, of course. But, nonetheless, a nice addition to the collection of Aquanauts, with which they seem to be releasing a new edition or so every Baselworld. The Tag Heuer Ottavio is probably most one of the current collectible vintage Heuer models. Before it was Tag Heuer, it was Heuer by Jack Heuer. And this is their new Ottavio release. I think this is a pretty conservative watch with a nice vintage aesthetic. There are a number of variations, some with stainless steel bezels, some with ceramic bezels, but they are all using a new in-house caliber. It's a cross chronometer certified caliber 5. And it was developed in-house in La Chaux de Fonds, and it made its debut in January. And that watch was inside the that movement was inside the O2T Tourbillon nanograph. And the hairspring, the hairspring is engineered to be super light, low dense, and completely anti-magnetic. Also very good with gravity and very shock resistant. It also has an aluminum alloy balance wheel, and this exact caliber, or the self-winding movement, the isographic, they call it. That's what they're calling it. And I think, these watches are pretty nice. There's a lot of different options. They're 42 millimeters. They're not that big. And, the Ottavio lines, I think they do pretty good. I mean, obviously not as good as vintage Ottavio watches. Those go for a lot of money. Some of them, upwards of, $50,000, $60,000 and up. But, nonetheless, I think Tag Heuer put out a decent release this year with this new Ottavio isographic. Now, the Seiko 6105 diver, most famously used in the Vietnam War and movies like Apocalypse Now, has made its way back in a vintage reissue. This is the SLA033, probably my favorite release from the whole Baselworld show. Now, this watch is 45 millimeters by 13 thick, features a dual curved sapphire with anti-reflective coating. It's using the 8L35 caliber, which is a pretty high-end Seiko caliber. It is a limited edition watch at 2,500 units. Price point is $4,250. So it's not a cheap watch, just like the SLA017 that was released previously. Their re-editions are not cheap. However, they are very well made and they are limited edition. I really like the 6105, especially the vintage ones. They're pretty cool, but it's hard to find a decent condition 6105. So this would be the second best option if you want something new with modern materials. I think it's a great looking watch, but however, I don't think I'd be willing to cough up the $4,200 it takes to get one of these. Let me know what you guys think about that. So there you have it. These are basically the most notable, or my favorite releases so far from Baselworld 2017 from these brands. Obviously there's a lot of more watches that are released. You can check the company websites. I'm pretty sure they list them all there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What watch do you like from this video the most, and all that good stuff. Also, please check out watchaddiction.com. There's a lot of watch reviews on there, a lot of watch information, and yeah, definitely subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.